Perfect. So, hi, Denise.
Hi.
Thank you for joining me. I'm going to be teaching you about self-care today.
Okay, Carrie.
So, self-care is such an important thing, and I'm teaching it because it's a helpful reminder to myself and myself pushed out as you to remind us to take self-care steps more often. Um, Self-care is important because it helps us to operate from our fullest potential. We're like batteries, and sometimes we can get drained over the course of a week if we keep giving and giving and giving. So it's really important to take some time out and to decompress and take time for ourselves. And I'll get into some of my favorite self-care tips and tricks later on in this discussion, but I'm just going to discuss a little bit more about self-care and why it's important for us. So, taking time for yourself isn't selfish, it's really necessary. Otherwise, we're operating from a place where our cup is half full, and that's when burnout can happen. And you do a better service to yourself and others when you're operating from your cup full. You're able to operate with a clearer mind. You have more opportunities available to you because your perception is wider by having your lens being cleared and your battery full. And you're really doing a better service to yourself and others by keeping your battery full. Like as I mentioned, when you're operating from a place of burnout, you tend to have a much narrower perception. And when your perception is narrower, you don't have ideas or different things that come to you more readily available when you're operating from a place of peace and calmness. We have a very focused mindset. So our options are limited, and we always want to be operating from a place of our options unlimited. So self-care really helps play a huge role in that. And it's okay to say no too. I want to bring that up because it can be hard for a lot of people, just telling people to, this isn't the right time. I'd love to help you, but I really need some time for myself. As mentioned before, if you say yes all the time, then you're really setting yourself up for burnout. You're wearing yourself down. You're really not doing a service to the person you're helping because you're not coming from a place of fullness and wholeness and offering everything and all of your goodies that you get to offer other people. If you're coming from a place of burnout and tired and how am I going to get through this? Like none of those feelings feel good in your body. You want to operate from a place of, oh, I can't wait to help you. I'd love to help you because I've helped myself and I have a lot of energy to give you because I have an overabundance of energy because I've took the time to, take care of myself. And women especially, just speaking from experience and noticing and talking to other women, a lot of us tend to be caretakers. We love helping other people. It's, we do get pleasure out of it, but we can overdo it sometimes. We help our spouse or our loved ones. We help, our children, our friends. We always put a lot of people before us. So we have to take reminders, give ourselves some reminders that, hey, it's okay. I have to say no right now. I need some time for myself. And being okay with that. It's okay to come from a place of stepping back and taking the time. Another point I wanted to make is being gentle with yourself. If you aren't feeling like you don't feel like the best version of yourself today, your mind can be running and maybe saying some cruel things, or you're just not showing up your best. It's okay. We're human. We all go through this. It's one of the parts of life that all of us can relate to, yet all of us feel a little icky when they come up, and it's hard to talk about those things. But just be gentle with yourself, going, all right, this is where I'm at right now. What can I do to help myself clear my space, get back into my body, and get back to where I need to be so then I can go about and be the best version of myself. So I'm going to go through I have a list here. I'm going to go through some things you can do to help up your self-care game. What I love about a lot of these things that I'm going to mention, they're really 15, 20 minutes to take for yourself. And we can all find 15 or 20 minutes within our day to do some of these things. And I completely invite you to do that, because if we take time, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, even if it's once a day, you're recharging your battery instead of just giving and depleting it. You can give, but you're also taking some time and you're receiving from yourself and recharging your battery. So without further ado, here's my fun list of things you can do to help with up your self-care game. One of them is 15 minutes of breathing, meditation, or quiet time. So I'll discuss both like breathing and meditation separately because they both have profound effects. Breathing is such a simple thing to do, but when we're like running out of steam and giving a lot of our time, our breath is a little bit erratic, our nerves are a little bit revved up. And if you take the time to go, okay, nice deep breath in through the nose and nice breaths out through the mouth, like deep breath in, deep breath out, about 5 to 6 seconds. In 5, 10, 15 minutes of this starts to regulate your body and actually sends signals to your body that you're in a safe space. Before, if you're running around and giving all your energy away, your body's operating at a place can be running at a place where it thinks it's in like anxiety or tension, or your adrenals are revved up. But once you signal to yourself, all right, I'm breathing, I'm taking nice deep breaths in and releasing them and clearing my mind, clearing my space, that sends actual signals to your body that you're in a safe space and calms your body down. So it's a great way to reset and get back in the present moment. And meditation and quieting your mind also does that too, because breathing is a part of meditation. And taking the time to clear your mind, close your eyes. Our focus a lot of the time is on our visual world and what's happening around us. And sometimes we forget that quieting the mind and just closing our eyes and not focusing on anything outside of us is also really beneficial. We don't do that a lot. So having a different perspective and allowing your mind to rest is very rejuvenative to your body as well. So another self-care tip is taking a salt bath. And this could be with Epsom salt, this could be with table salt, sea salt, whatever salt you have around. You can take a full-size bath for 15 or 20 minutes, or what I like to do, and it makes it a lot easier and it makes it more accessible for me to do more times during the week to reset, is I take a storage bin, and it's about this big and this deep, and I can fit my feet in it, and I take 5 heaping tablespoons of salt and warm water and sit in that for 20 minutes, and I can read during that time. I can listen to Neville during that time. It's a nice way to decompress, and what that salt bath does is it allows your body to discharge. And I use this a lot throughout my weeks. It's great. It's a great way if I don't feel like I'm in my body, if I'm feeling anxious, if I'm feeling, off, I take a salt bath. It's a great way to reset. And like I said, if you get a little storage bin, it's really easy to do so. You don't need to fill up a huge tub, although that is really nice. Like I would suggest doing that like once a month because nice to take a bath and relax for yourself. So moving on, grounding. Grounding is lovely, and I think everybody should do it more often, including myself. I'll explain what grounding is. Grounding is getting outside and getting your bare feet or your skin on the earth, whether that be grass or dirt or sand. And that's another 15 to 20-minute thing that you can do that's really simple. You can do it at the office. If you have a patch of grass, take off your shoes, get your feet in there. And what this does is the earth has negatively charged free electrons on the surface of the earth. And over time, your body can become positively charged with free radicals. And free radicals contribute to things like inflammation in the body. So when you stand or sit or get your skin on the earth, what that does is those negative electrons that are present on the earth get into your body and start to neutralize these free radicals in your body. So that can reduce inflammation. It improves circulation. So now you're getting oxygen cycled throughout your body, which leads to better sleep, better mental clarity. So it has wonderful, wonderful properties. And a lot of us don't get enough grounding in because we wear rubber-soled shoes, and that's an insulator. So we're actually insulated from the earth. So taking the time and, a couple times a week, get your feet dirty, get your feet in the grass or get your feet in the dirt. You'll feel great. Some other things, this isn't like a 15 or 20-minute thing, but it's a lovely thing to do, is book yourself a massage. I know we sometimes think of like, oh, it's a nice gift to give someone else. Make it a nice gift to give to yourself. How good does a massage feel? Find a massage therapist that you like. Just try different places. And that could be like a once a month thing. Because I know that requires money and requires the services of others and takes a little bit more time, but that's a treat yourself self-care step. So it's nice to do that every once in a while. Another self-care tip is yoga. I love yoga. The reason why I love yoga is I love getting into a room, and even though there's a bunch of other people around, I focus on myself. It really is like a meditation practice for myself. I really like seeing my body in the mirror, just being able to appreciate the body that I have. And when I'm stretching, feeling different parts of my body, how they feel, even the parts that, feel a little achy or I can't get into a position, it's an opportunity to send love to myself, do a little self-love exercise while I'm doing it. Like, all right, this is where I'm at today. And it gives myself goals to reach next time I go to yoga. I'll be like, all right, I couldn't really get into this position, but you know what? That's cool. I'm going to try to set myself up for success next time and be okay if I don't reach it. But, just be aware of my body. Your body's awesome. It does all these really cool things. So it's yoga's like a meditation, self-love step for me. So I really enjoy it. And plus when you're done, you're all stretched out and you feel lovely, even if sometimes it can be a struggle to get yourself out and get yourself exercising. 100% of the time after, it always feels great and you feel great usually days after too. So it's a wonderful self-love, self-care step. Going back to something simple that you can integrate into your days, going for a walk, getting outside, again, 15, 20 minutes, out in nature, fresh air, in the sun especially, all that stuff is wonderful and it's great for you mentally and physically. If you're sitting inside, you have, fluorescent lights that are on coming down at you, which isn't actually really healthy for you, or just being stagnant, get yourself moving. Even going for a drive. I go on wealthy drives in the morning. So I have a commute to work, but I take that time to actually kind of get myself in a space and get myself meditating and thinking positive thoughts and how I want to feel today, or what am I going to do tomorrow? To get myself psyched up for this is how I'd like to feel. So you can do a wealthy drive or a wealthy walk for self-care. Another one is doing something you love, like reading a book, painting, dancing, singing, etc. Those are really easy things to incorporate. I could bust out a move right now. You can dance wherever, you can sing wherever. It's free, comes from the heart. So that's another easy, quick way to just get yourself into a different state. And lastly, it's on the similar topic is just doing something different. Changing your surroundings can shift your perspective, and sometimes that's all you need to start to like help yourself replenish. I know sometimes we can be sitting inside and then we'll have these critical thoughts that come up, and you can indulge in them, and it's like the worst thing. None of us want to indulge in them, but sometimes we can get on a rabbit hole of thinking up scenarios, and they don't feel good to us. But the best thing you can do there is stand up and get yourself in a different room. Getting outside would be even better, but it's just the simple steps like changing your perspective, look at something differently, do something differently instead of just feeding into what state you're currently in. So trying to just shift your state is a great way to start the self-care game and self-love game. So those are like a lot of my go-tos. I don't practice all of them all the time, but I take little bits of those and pepper them in throughout the week or the month, and to replenish my battery and get that in a state of, instead of a state of, you know. So Denise, do you have any self-care practices that you love and you'd like to share?
Well, I like dancing.
Oh, I love dancing. That's
Yes.
great.
I go dancing about every couple of weeks. So that's one of the things that I do for self-care.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Your ideas were so interesting. I wrote them down because there's something that I think I'd like to put into my life.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yes, there's a place where I could do yoga that's about 2 blocks away. So I think I'll try that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, trying something new, right? That's another great self-care thing, switching your perspective, trying something new.
Yes, I've done that, but it's been years now. And so since there's a place so close, I think I'll do it.
Oh, wonderful. That's great.
Well,
Let me know how it goes.
thanks for all those great ideas. They are wonderful.
You're so very welcome.
I appreciate it.
Perfect.
You did a great job on self-care.
Thank you. And so, yes, healthy reminder to myself and everybody else, get your self-care on.
Right.
Thank you so much.